Latest data from Nigeria's downstream regulator show imported petrol continues to dominate domestic supply. In December 2025, imports made up 57% of fuel consumed nationwide. That's about 42 million liters every day. Local refineries, led by Dangote, supply the remaining 43%, roughly 32 million liters.
There is a continuous demand for the product, not just in Nigeria, but around the West Africa region. So the need for constant importation and the market for it is always available.
Even with our production, we've not been able to meet up beyond the OPEC demand to actually have a feedstock that's supplied to the local refineries for them to have enough distance to refine.
The figures run against expectations that growing refining capacity would sharply cut imports. Analysts say fuel shipments are influenced by reserve levels and strong regional demand. They also point to transportation and logistics, factors that can make imported fuel cheaper than locally refined supplies.
When you look at the production costs of our local refineries, they seem to be almost at par or higher than that of importation. When you check the factors of production in the country, I mean, what it takes to, both in terms of the production costs, in terms of the haulage costs, in terms of other political and macroeconomic indices within the country.
Policymakers say boosting domestic refining is central to reducing fuel imports and protecting foreign reserves. But industry players argue that until crude supply to refineries become more reliable and transport networks improve, imports will remain part of Nigeria's fuel mix. Experts also highlight policy gaps and market incentives that continue to favor imported fuel. Marketers say shipments from abroad help stabilize supply and prices across the region. But supporters of domestic refining insist Nigeria can meet its needs if investment flows steadily, regulations are enforced, and the downstream sector becomes fully integrated.
It is possible for us to service the Nigerian market locally, even the West African region locally, but it will take a lot of serious commitment. There's nothing around this conversation that is not captured in the PIA as it stands today. And what we need to push in our conversations and even at leadership at government level is to ensure that it is fully implemented in the sector.
Over the past year, Nigeria imported an estimated 12.69 billion liters of petrol. Although volumes are lower than previous years, the bills still pressure foreign exchange reserves and energy security. Nigeria's push towards fuel self-sufficiency is gaining momentum, but for now, dependence on imports continue to raise questions even as local production climbs. Kelechi Emekalam, CGTN Abuja, Nigeria.